With the weekend bringing continued dumpage for the baby bulls, so far sliding down to the $38,000 range. Do the baby bears have enough thrust to bust the baby bulls even lower than the moon boys could ever imagine? And some absolutely massive hopium for the baby bulls. You are going to want to see this. I'm your host, Diaper Boy, and as the baby bulls face yet another tough time, this one metric is screaming for you to look at it right now. Get the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, you miss these absolutely time-sensitive alerts as well. If you're interested in getting any deals, staking to earn rewards with your ADA, getting some nice altcoins, trading, securing your crypto, make sure to check out all of the links below. And remember, I have one Instagram and one Twitter, and that's it. They're both linked below, and every other account that you see of me is not me. They're all fake. They just want to steal. They just want to scam you. And remember, I will never ask how your trading is going in a DM, so that's not me if you get a message. And without any further spladoosh, let's spladoosh. Absolutely ginormous. So Bitcoin has in fact taken a little bit of a tumble, and I took the last almost 48 hours off from really looking at the charts. I was away, not near a computer or anything like that, and I come back and there is a little bit of a dumpy. But what is happening here? So 38,000 is the new area that we've been testing. We bounced exactly about 38K. And before we actually continue with that, guys, let's take a look at a lot of things. So this is the Fear and Greed Index going back for the past 3 years to the beginning of 2019. So 2019, 2020, 2021, and here we are at the very beginning of 2022 here, looking to have a beautiful year. However, what we see now is that actually over the past even about the past 8 months or so, Bitcoin has spent most of its time in the extremely dumpy zone, meaning with 90 being like euphoric and very optimistic, and anything below like 30, 20, or 10, the lower the number is, the more fearful the market is. We've spent most of that time fearful. You can see that here. You can see the red dots. As Bitcoin's price went up, it was straight euphoria. And as you can see, we've traded sideways since the beginning of 2021 for the most part, right? We had a nice dump to start off 2021 or for like the second quarter of 2021, and then barely a higher high here. And we've been very dumpy. Just the point is we've been spending so much time in the dumpy zone. Okay, and if we even just take a zoom in here to about the last year, and you can see this is usually coincided with the bottoms, but yeah, it's absolutely true that what we've seen actually even over the past 2 days is that Bitcoin has even briefly dipped back into extreme fear, down to these very low levels here where the market is very pessimistic. And all it took was a little drop from holding a little bit above 40 to below that. So the market is easily swayed right now. And what does that tell us? So as we saw Bitcoin drop to about 38K, sentiment nears extreme fear yet again. Bitcoin, it took a matter of days for Bitcoin to fall to 2-week lows, but the sentiment fell much harder than that. So we had a couple $1,000 drop, but sentiment completely dropped with it. And again, that was partially because Saturday, it did begin to move downhill after comments from the UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson on financial blocks of Russian firms should the situation escalate. And with crypto, the only markets that are constantly open, the reaction to geopolitical fears in the region could foreshadow a greater knock-on effect as we open this week. But Monday, tomorrow, is a holiday for Wall Street, so we will not know tomorrow. Today is Sunday, and Monday we will not see how the traditional markets open, and we will not see the effects here. So what does that mean? Pretty much that Bitcoin, the only markets that are, or the crypto markets, the only ones that are always open, are taking the brunt of some of this negative news and negative coverage here. But yeah, if we skip ahead, the extreme fear with Bitcoin is very real. Over the last year, $40,000 has been a very critical level. And each time it broke below and then reclaimed it, there has been large rallies to the upside. And it's a good area to watch. Okay. But yeah, we did dip back into fear territory, having seen a 50% drop in 4 days in the extreme, or in the fear and greed index. So yeah, we've seen a pretty drastic drop. Just a couple of days ago, score was at about 50. Here we are now all the way down at like 27. So yeah, the market is very fearful right now. That's very obvious. And yeah, just taking a look at this chart very, very quickly, we've spent more time in the dumpy zone than we have in the pumpy zone over the last year plus. It has been primarily ruled by fear. But in very positive news, the inactive supply nears a record as over 60% of Bitcoin stays unspent for at least 1 year. And this is very good because, the strong hands have rarely been stronger. Okay, so what does this mean? And we're going to take a look at a few things here because, as people learn, as people understand how Bitcoin performs and how it behaves and comes back stronger and stronger, I think a lot of people have jumped on the boat of just holding Bitcoin even in the dumpy times, right? And I know I've been advocating for that for a long time. If bull markets, you can make a lot of money, but if you really want to make the most money, you want to be here when it's bearish. Right now is bearish, and it's been a couple of months, multiple months, over even half of a year of pretty decent bearish price action. If you actually long-term want to make money, this right now is when you want to be paying attention, okay? It's not as fun because your portfolio is not going up every day. In fact, the opposite. Your portfolio is probably dropping every single day, or at least it has been lately. But this is not when you want to tune out. Obviously, have some hobbies, do other things, do not stare at a chart all day. That's not what I'm saying. That's dumb. You're going to make yourself go crazy doing that. If you stop investing and you stop following the space and you stop looking at these situations and these dumps as opportunities, if you stop doing that, then history so far has only shown that has been a mistake. So again, I'm not saying it's a good idea, not saying it's a bad idea. All I'm saying is historically, every single data point has shown that when it gets dumpy like this, if you stop paying attention, you're silly and you're making a mistake. So will it be the same this time? I personally think without a shadow of a doubt, I think 1,000%, yes, it would be silly to stop paying attention right now. But yes, stubborn holding by long-term investors is a characteristic that differentiates the current Bitcoin market climate from most other downtrends here. So long-term investors are adding to their positions or staying put on their Bitcoin exposure, which is not historically the case. I think we have more and more people that are just firm believers that holding is the best option and dumping every time the price goes down is silly, because it is silly. People didn't know that over the past decade. For the most part, people would dump every time there's a little baby dump, and then they would buy every time there's a little baby pump. But I think slowly people are starting to learn that's dumb and that's not what you're supposed to be doing. That's not how you make money. You do not want to stop paying attention when the prices go down, okay? I cannot reiterate that enough. I've been saying it. I say it like every video, but it's just so important here. Making money is not always fun. But you need to be disciplined. And according to Glassnode's HODL Waves indicator, as of February 18th, 60% of the Bitcoin supply has not been used in a transaction for a year or more, which is very significant, very big. And only twice before in Bitcoin's history has the 1 year or more value reached that level. So this is absolutely very big. And on both of those two occasions, they followed a downtrend and then they preceded a major bounce back, meaning when this has happened in the past, it was kind of around and after a dump. And then what happened shortly after was a major increase in price. And that was back in early 2016 when Bitcoin was about $400. And then also mid 2020 when it was around 9,000. And I think a lot of you know what happened at the end of 2020. Price went up a lot. But both times were during a prolonged consolidation before a huge bullish move here. And a little bit of hopium for you, because again, even though I think what's holding the markets back right now is more of a macro, maybe fear of the massive inflation, fear of a potential war, all of that. Does that make Bitcoin a worse option than it was a couple of months ago? No, I would say the opposite. I think it's a better option. And I think just like we saw the topic switch from Bitcoin being used as a currency to a store of value, we saw that transition over the past few years. Maybe we'll also see Bitcoin be seen as less of a risk-on asset and more of a risk-always asset, meaning just always get Bitcoin, right? Don't just invest in it when certain periods come around, but just maybe always invest in it because it's better. At least that's my opinion. It's not financial advice, but historically it has been proven to be baby genius advice. And as well, with that, there is the possibility that altcoins will absolutely continue to get smashed. That's more likely than not if Bitcoin continues its downtrend. Okay, during dumpier times, Bitcoin usually holds the strongest. It's the best crypto to be in when things really hit the fan. And not saying that has to happen, obviously. But again, so much is dictated by the SPX, which will be closed for over another 24 hours. And so it'll be very interesting to see if Bitcoin is able to decouple, to hold strong here, to prevent a lower low, and to reclaim the 50 and 21 week moving averages, prevent a 200 week test at around 25 or 26,000, which would be very dumpy. And yeah, just get some bullish switcheroo in here. And again, we talked about this weekly MACD. We see this still curving up, but yeah, I don't think we're going to be at new all-time highs by next week. That goes without saying. We still have some time, and people that are going to be more successful in the future, in my opinion, are looking at this as an opportunity to get more before they miss yet another chance. Just like people back here were looking at this as an opportunity to get more. I remember buying back here. This was great. I remember sentiment was absolutely god-awful here, okay? But look where we are now. Look how far we've come in just, less than 2 years, okay? Bitcoin down in that $3,000 level. Now everyone's crying about a $38,000 Bitcoin. We've come pretty far. As you guys in the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe. Don't miss these absolutely time-sensitive alerts as well. If you guys are interested in any deals, bonuses, getting altcoins, trading, securing your crypto, staking to earn rewards with your crypto, make sure to check out all the links below. I will never message you with any offers. My only Instagram is below and my only Twitter is below. Every other account is a fake account. I'm not going to message you in the comments of this video either. They're all fake accounts. And without any further ado, that's it for me.